Hey everybody, so we're talking pawpaws. I had a pawpaw video a day or two ago and people loved it. So I'm going to keep going with pawpaws because number one, pawpaws are amazing. Largest native fruit in North America. This is not even a big pawpaw, but this is the last, I guess, ripe pawpaw I have on hand. So I'm going to enjoy this in a minute. But a pawpaw can get probably about twice as big as this, like an iPhone size kind of. There's lots of great things about pawpaws, but if you want to learn more about the fruit, go ahead and check out this video that I posted a few days ago. But I'm not really going to talk about the qualities of pawpaw, except that it's awesome, it's delicious, it's the largest native fruit. We are going to talk about how to save your own pawpaw seeds and grow pawpaws. So check out the seeds there. I am going to give you a much better look at pawpaw seeds very shortly. But the biggest mistake people make with pawpaws is they let them dry out. You do not want to let pawpaws dry out. I had a friend years ago, before I knew any better, and I guess he didn't know either, he gave me 2 pawpaw seeds, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. He had them in his mug at his office at work for years, or at least several months. They were bone dry, like an almond. And I didn't even try to plant them after I learned more about pawpaws. So number one, you do not want your pawpaws to dry out. If you do, they're not viable. So I'm going to enjoy this pawpaw. I'm going to give you some quick pawpaw footage to see what the inside of a pawpaw looks like. It tastes kind of like a mango and a banana. So go ahead and check out this footage, and then I'm going to show you how to save some seeds. Delicious. I got a whole bunch of seeds from a whole bunch of pawpaws. I want to give a shout out to Amy's mom, Yaya. She actually harvested these pawpaws from her tree. So thank you, Yaya. She also got some bruised fruit that was unedible, but guess what? The seeds are still viable. It's just they weren't harvested in time for us to eat. So I got some pawpaws that you can't eat, but there's plenty of seeds inside. I'm going to add this to my bowl here, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to break these up, and this is what a pawpaw leaf looks like if you've wondered. So this is what a pawpaw leaf looks like. So I am going to break these up. There's some seeds in here, some old pawpaws that we can squish up, and I'm going to spray them with the hose. My first step is to get all of the fruit meat off of the pawpaw seed, and then we're going to go from there. So let's go ahead and clean these seeds up.
Looks like coffee beans. Oh, like X large.
So these are the seeds that I harvested. I'm not sure how many I have. I'm going to count them out in a minute. This is not the final step though. There's one more step. You want to put your seeds into plastic Ziploc bags with some sphagnum moss. That moss is going to draw away some of the moisture, but keep the inside of the bag still a little bit wet, so it's going to absorb the moisture but keep it in the bag so that your seeds don't dry out. So it's okay if these seeds are a little wet when you put them in the moss, but then this is really, really important. The final step, you have to keep the pawpaws in the fridge for about 3 months, 70 to 100 days. That's called stratification. Pawpaws need the cold in order to germinate. If they don't have the cold, they're not going to grow. So put them in the fridge. Do not put them in the freezer. If they're frozen for long periods of time, they most likely will not germinate. So again, do not dry out the seeds, do not freeze the seeds. Put these in the fridge for about 3 months, 70 to 100 days, and then you can start the germination process. I'm going to talk about how to germinate, but not for a few months because my seeds need to stratify in the fridge. I am going to be selling seeds, so if you're one of our subscribers, very soon, probably in the next couple weeks, I'll start selling Paw Paw seeds, but I want to do it right. So I am going to harvest from several different trees that I found throughout Western North Carolina. It is better to have at least 2 different parent trees for your seeds so that you have better genetic diversity, and pawpaws need to cross-pollinate, and they are a lot more likely to cross-pollinate if you have seeds from 2 different trees. I'm going to be selling these in sets of 12, and I will guarantee that you will have at least 2 different parent trees so that you have good genetic diversity and that you can cross-pollinate. I'm also going to give you instructions on how to germinate, how to plant. I want you to have the most success with your pawpaws as possible. I think it would be awesome if pawpaws start to take off again. They used to be very important in the Appalachians, in the Midwest, as a food source. There's towns named after this tree, but a lot of people don't know about pawpaws. So in the next couple weeks, as soon as I'm done harvesting all of my seeds, I'm going to start selling these probably on Amazon. So you can just plant these seeds straight in the ground. You could, I guess, bury the whole fruit straight in the ground. You could just take the seeds and bury them, which I am going to do that on my own property, but I have access to tons and tons of pawpaws. If you don't have access to that, I would not do that. I would stratify in the fridge, and then you can grow them in a pot, and then you can transplant them. So hopefully this has been helpful. If you want to learn more about pawpaws, I am going to keep teaching you about it. So thanks for tuning in, and keep on homesteading.